What's up, War Report family? We are back with another great edition of Facts or Nah. War Eagle to everybody that's out there tuning in. Listen, you know what the deal is. We are back with the rapid fire questions, and I got the whole crew here with me. You guys ready to get into this today?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
First question, facts or nah? Kevin Steele is the best defensive coordinator that Auburn has had in the last 20 years.
I'm going to say nah. Listen, Kevin Steele was great for the years that he was here. You know, if you disregard little L stabbing in the back. And, but that's neither here nor there. Gene Chizik put together the best defensive teams in a collective maybe 3-4 year stretch than we had seen until Steele. But maybe Kevin Steele's defenses were primarily anchored by two outstanding recruits on the defensive line. Listen, those guys left with the same DBs. The defense didn't look so good, did it? He did great. He did a good job while he was here. But Chizik was consistent year in, year out for as long as he was DC. So I'm going nah. Gene Chizik, last 20.
It's a nah for me. And I appreciate Steele for all that he's done at Auburn, particularly on the defensive side of the ball. But like B, I'm going with Chizik here. Chizik won the Broyles Award, coached a Thorpe Award winner. Actually, in 2003, with all the talent Auburn had on offense, yet still was inept on offense, he still led Auburn to a top 5 total defense. To me, that tells me all you need to know about who's better. I'm going Gene Chizik, and I'm going nah for this question.
This is an easy nah for me. Hate to sound like a parrot, but it's definitely Gene Chizik. Multiple draft picks, Thorpe Award winner, undefeated season. I don't even think it's in question. If you look at even the better teams over the last 20 years have given up a lot of points on defense, and that was a stingy defense in 2004. So I'm going nah on this one. Chizik is definitely the best of the last 20 years.
This one was a tough one for me, but I'm actually going to go facts on this, that he is the best defensive coordinator. Listen, I understand that he benefited greatly from two very dynamic defensive linemen, but he was able to hold, in an era of high-powered offenses in the SEC, most of their offenses to a pedestrian amount of points. So I'm going to have to go with the guy who was playing in the high-powered era, but still only giving up the 3 yards in the clouds of dust offensive output, and that's Kevin Steele. Facts.
All right, fellas. Facts or nah? Owen Pappoe will lead Auburn in tackles this coming 2021 season.
I'm going nah here. I'm going with the guy who actually led the team, not only Auburn, but the SEC in tackles, and that's Zacoby Ricochet McClain. I'm looking for him to actually build on his last year in 2020 and actually be Auburn's top contributor this year. They're playing in a new scheme, which allow linebackers to just attack, play downhill, and that's one of the things that he did exceptionally well last year. So I'm going nah. My pick is Zacoby McClain.
I'm saying nah as well, much for the same reason that Caesar already said. But I got to think if our defensive line plays better, that the linebackers can kind of clean up, and maybe with more linebackers here than there were here last year, they can kind of spread the wealth around. I think it can kind of be balanced among the linebackers. Maybe Ricochet Rabbit ends up with more. Maybe Pappoe has a chance, but I don't think it's going to be Pappoe either way. So, nah.
I am going to go facts on this question. All right, listen, I understand Zacoby McClain had a dynamic year. He actually had a really good freshman campaign, but I think Owen Pappoe, as one of the fastest linebackers in college football, definitely one of the faster ones in the SEC, is going to flourish under this new system. He's going to have a little bit more freedom to roam around, not having to play so much inside. I think he's going to be out there causing havoc all over the field, a lot of sacks, a lot of tackles. Owen Pappoe leads the team in tackles next year. Facts.
I'm going facts on this one. I think under this Derek Mason defense, linebackers swarming to the ball is coming back. I remember a time where it seemed like all our defensive players were around to tackle. We were gang tackling people, again in a 3-4. I see more of that in the future, so I'm going facts on this one. Pappoe came in second in tackles last season. I think that he will be first in tackles this season.
Facts or nah? Grant Loy will be QB2 on the depth chart at the start of the regular season.
I'm actually gonna go facts here. Super reluctantly going to say facts to this one right now, just because I haven't done a ton of research on some of the other guys on the team, but he is the most tenured guy on the team, even including Bo Nix. I think that the new staff is going to be high on the intangibles that he presents. He's a bigger guy and he has a little bit more of a pocket presence already, so I think he's going to be able to adjust quickly to the new system, and he will be QB2. Grant Loy, we're going to go facts.
I'm going to go nah here. And while I do think Bo Nix does end up starting the year as the number one quarterback for Auburn, I do think Demetrius Davis could end up being number 2. In fact, it's either him or Garnett who I'm going for, who could actually be number 2 going into the fall season. So I'm going nah here.
No.
I'm going to say facts. Listen, if you start the spring in QB2 when the coach hasn't given anybody a shot at anything yet, that means you have to lose ground to lose to somebody who hasn't played any college football, or Shale Garnett, who hasn't played a snap of college football that's meaningful. So I'm saying facts. Unfortunately, he seems to be parked in the number 2 spot.
All right, guys. Facts or nah? Kobe Hudson emerges as Auburn's number 1 receiving target in 2021.
I'm actually gonna go nah on this one. And this is a tough one for me. I think that there are going to be a plethora of options at wide receiver this coming season. So there are a lot of guys that I'm looking for to emerge. If somebody is the number 1 target, I don't think it's going to be by much. I think the Bobo's going to spread the ball around, and guys are going to get their chance to eat in this new offense. So I'm going nah on this one. I just think there are too many other guys that have got speed and can run routes and can do some things well for him to be the number 1.
I'm going to go nah on this one as well. I've kind of been on record as saying I think that Kenyon is going to be the next guy at Auburn that's going to break 1,000 yards in receiving. That doesn't necessarily mean he's going to have the most receptions, so I'm not necessarily pegging him for that spot. But what I do say is that we're going to be, as Mike said, spreading the ball around a bit. I don't know that Kobe Hudson is the possession receiver that we're going to need in order to be that surefire. We need a first down. We need a tough catch guy. And usually those are the type of people that you're going to see emerge as the leader in receptions. So for right now, I'm going to say nah.
I'm going to say nah as well. Listen, we heard Anthony Schwartz say that Kobe Hudson is probably the best wide receiver left in the room, but I only saw one guy that was a wide receiver win Ironman of the Week in spring training. That was Isaiah Kenyon, the same guy who flashed like crazy in the bowl game. So listen, if you stood out at the end of the year with the last administration and you stand out to the new coach before y'all even hit the field, I'm saying that guy has the best chance to be the number 1 target.
I'm going to go a clean sweep here and say nah as well, but I'm not sure who's going to lead the team in receptions because we have a lot of options. I expect Auburn to actually target tight ends this year, something that we have not done in previous years. So again, the ball is going to be spread around to a lot of guys, and we've done a great job in the past years of recruiting talent at different skill positions. So I'm going nah. I think Kobe Hudson will get his, but a lot of guys who are receivers, tight ends are going to eat in this offense. So I'm going nah here.
All right, we are at that time again where we get to the fan question of the week. This week, our fan question comes courtesy of Deuce Boogie 02, and he tweets, facts or nah, under Harsin, Auburn will start to recruit more pocket passers than relying heavily on dual threat guys.
Facts. I think everybody can see that between Bobo and Harsin, we're going to favor pocket passers more. We already got a commitment from the 2022 quarterback, pocket passer. Grant Loy stuck around because he looked at Harsin, Bobo, and said, look, those guys like pocket passers. Maybe we get a scrambler here or there, but if he is a scrambler, he's going to have to be somebody who can pass accurately and do everything that Harsin expects a pocket passer to be able to do. So, facts.
So I'm going nah on this one. I think that Hudson is going to learn really quickly that having a dual threat quarterback, which implies that the quarterback can actually stay in the pocket and be mobile outside the pocket, gives you a marked advantage over your SEC opponents. Having a guy who can use his legs and force the defenses to play him 11 on 11 is going to be a very good advantage in the SEC. So I'm going nah on this one. I think that he will have the opportunity, if he can do something with Demetrius Davis, whether it's next year or in the future, he'll start to get more of those guys coming his way. He never really had that chance at Boise State. He will have that chance at Auburn. So I'm going nah on this one.
I'm going to go facts here, but I don't think Brian Harsin is going to be recruiting statues. Just because you're a pocket passer doesn't mean that you can't run when need be. I think he's going to recruit guys who are going to have a good feel for the pocket, trained to stay in the pocket, but know how to escape pressure when necessary. But they're going to be considered at the end of the day more so pocket passers than dual threats. So I'm going to say facts on this one.
I'm going to have to go nah on this one, not because I don't think that Brian Harsin is going to be committed to getting guys who can do more from the pocket. I just have to think that as the game continues to progress in the direction of needing more mobile guys and having the defenses getting faster and faster, you're going to need someone who's able to move their feet. That doesn't necessarily mean that just because they're dual threat, they can't throw the ball as well. I just think that you are going to be looking for a more dynamic athlete at quarterback that's going to be able to give you more opportunities to scheme up more things. Brian Harsin loves being creative with the way he puts his offenses together, so I think that he's going to continue to recruit dual threat guys. He's just going to get a better caliber of dual threat because he's in a better position here in the SEC. I am going to go nah. All right, everybody, that's another great edition of Facts or Nah. Hopefully you all have enjoyed all of this. We want to make sure you all are chiming in. So listen, put your answers to the questions right down here in the comment section. We want to hear your answers, facts or nah, on all of these questions. Outside of that, if you want to get involved even more, you need to make sure you're tweeting us with your facts or nah. That is hashtag facts or nah. Tweet us at The War Report, and maybe you can get your questions featured right here on the show. Outside of that, you know what to do. Click like and subscribe to the channel. You can follow us on all social media. We are The War Report on Instagram and Twitter. On TikTok, we are TW Report. That's it for this edition. Until the next time, and as always, work.